Lathrop Community Partners is excited to present Gateways, a concept focused on reusing a critical mass of the existing Lathrop homes while making extensive additions to many of the buildings. What does it mean to rebuild the buildings at Lathrop? The Gateways concept seeks to retain and extend the useful life of the 1930s building stock at Lathrop Homes, designed by a who's who of 1930s architects. In this concept, the expanse of the Great Lawn would be retained and would accommodate new curving streets and parking. The majority of the buildings surrounding the Great Lawn would be renovated with additions to support more dwelling units. Public access at the river's edge would be enhanced with improved walking trails, bike paths, and various types of open space. Connections between Lathrop and the surrounding neighborhoods to the east would be significantly improved. North of Diversey, a new street would connect Clybourne to Levitt, while south of Diversey, a second new street would connect Levitt with Damon. Viewed from the west, across the river, the Gateways concept offers two distinctive new features. North of Diversey, a new Midway Park cuts a diagonal open space through the site, opening up views from Clybourne across the Great Lawn to a community youth center and enhanced open space facing the river. The Midway Park is a multi-purpose space able to host community events such as farmers markets and community gardens. At the southern end of the site, a new tower located at a prominent bend in the river gives new visibility to Lathrop. The addition to the existing buildings add enough dwelling units to require only one new tower. In order to create the new street north of Diversey, a T-shaped walk-up building facing Clybourne would be removed and replaced with a pair of mixed-use buildings. The concept drawing illustrates how this could work. The new ground-level shops and services would be within easy walking distance of Lathrop, north of Diversey, and the neighbors across Clybourne, adding convenience and providing jobs for Lathrop residents. This new mini Main Street, the defining feature that gives the Gateway concept its name, would draw in pedestrians, bicyclists, and drivers alike, strengthening ties between Lathrop and the surrounding community. The larger buildings facing the Great Lawn would receive additions to establish a new, more marketable and identifiable character, as well as providing more dwelling units and attractive lobbies. The buildings at the north end of the Jens Jensen Great Lawn would be replaced with a cluster of new residential buildings and decked parking. The new configuration of the buildings will provide a direct pedestrian and vehicular connection to Levitt and beyond to new housing west of Levitt. The buildings at the south end of the Great Lawn would be modified to allow a new service street to connect to Diversey and to a space we called the Buckle, a hidden gem of the original plan. The Buckle is an outdoor room that straddles Diversey and is formed by the footprints of four buildings. In the Gateways concept, the four buildings that define the Buckle would be retained and a new service street would be introduced to provide an additional vehicular route, principally for the benefit of residents. In order to reduce conflicts between pedestrians and turning vehicles, the CTA bus stops on Diversey would be relocated to Damon. A tree-lined median and bike lanes would be added to Diversey to transform it into the parkway its name suggests. The new service street heading south from the Buckle connects to a new street, a continuation of Levitt. Together these streets provide a direct line of sight from Diversey to a new public square. The entry of the existing CHA Senior Building would be relocated to the east side of the building to address this street, allowing the Senior Building to open out towards a new Riverside Park. New housing and decked parking would occupy the blocks on both sides of this new street. As previously mentioned, the Gateways concept improves connections by adding one new east-west street south of Diversey. This extension of Schubert would align with the existing Costco driveway, an intersection anticipated to be signalized, and will provide an alternate route around the Diversey-Damon-Clybourne intersection. More importantly, Schubert Street west of Damon leads to a square surrounded by retail stores. The square connects streets coming from the north, east, and south, and is the heart of the southern half of the Lathrop site. New neighborhood retail, such as a grocery store, a pharmacy, and other small shops, bring convenience and jobs to the area. Unlike the auto-oriented retail to the east, the Gateways concept locates new retail stores on a public park rather than a parking lot. To achieve a walkable vitality in this public square, the blank backsides of the retail stores are largely hidden from view in the middle of blocks. Much like Washington Square Park on the Gold Coast, traffic would flow one way around the square. On-street teaser parking would be provided on all four sides, with additional parking provided in nearby parking decks. The view from the square to the south leads one's eyes to a view of the historic powerhouse, to be reused as an entertainment destination such as a brew pub. Traveling south on that street leads us to a vibrant public space at the southern end of the site. A water edge plaza is defined by the powerhouse to the east, a residential tower to the north, and is open to the river on the south and west. This single residential tower increases housing choice and allows for the relatively low-density buildings elsewhere on the site to remain. The powerhouse could be reused as a vertical farm, another source of convenience and jobs. A sloped plaza allows for informal gatherings and programmed events year-round. A plaza is one of 3 new open spaces along a continuous riverwalk and is adjacent to a water taxi dock. The Gateways concept offers a dynamic blend of older buildings, contemporary additions, and inviting gateway features designed to connect Lathrop with its neighbors. It envisions a diverse, healthy, safe, and sustainable community that builds on and improves the Lathrop we know today. The Gateway concept would be a good neighbor to the Hamlin Park, Logan Square, and surrounding neighborhoods, and create a new destination for the area. Thank you for your attention, and we welcome your comments and insights on the Gateways concept.